Joining us now, Rich Anderson. Rich Anderson, former House of Delegates member, served there for, I think, 4 terms, about 8 years, maybe 10. Sometimes I get mixed up. He's also a retired colonel, and he is running for chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia. Let me just tell you what he did yesterday, that I got up today, and when I got to my email, right, I get an email from Rich Anderson, and the title of the email says, "I'll fight." And it says, "On Monday, I emailed you about the critical need for the Republican Party of Virginia to win again. Later on Monday, Ralph Northam announced at a press conference that is extending the shutdown of Virginia businesses and our state economy by a full week, originally scheduled to end on Friday, May 8th. This crushing blow to Virginia families, jobs, and paychecks will now continue until Friday, May 15th. And no one says a word about it. And then what Rich Anderson, he calls it the Surrender Caucus. It's like we're all sitting around. And so he sends this email out and like, okay, I got to get this guy on. And so we hooked up today. Rich, great to have you with us.
Great to be here, John. Your volume may be diminished, but your message is coming through loud and clear, my friend.
Well, thanks, Rich. I loved your email. I thought the press conference yesterday, it infuriated me. The governor had absolutely no data to back this up. I knew he wasn't going to open it on the 8th. He had no data to do it. Now on the 15th, nobody has confidence in that. But, Rich, this is wreaking havoc on small businesses. I got friends of mine who plan to open on the 8th, and I told them, he ain't going to open on the 8th. Oh, yes, he is. He said he is. I said, he's not going to do it. So they start buying things, buying inventory, spending money, scheduling workers. Now it's another week. Does he have any idea the havoc he's wreaking on people?
Well, I'll tell you what you've just described, John. You've just described a bait-and-switch strategy to continue this economic and commercial shutdown for an undetermined period of time. People had planned, businesses had planned through May the 8th, and now the goalpost gets moved further downstream. You only have to crack open your local newspaper or go online and look at social media about what's going on around the state, and this is a calamity of colossal proportions. It's literally destroying our economy. This is not an either-or situation. We can practice safe distancing and asking people who have propensities to be vulnerable to the disease and other things to be done while at the same time not shutting down a once booming economy.
He's not held accountable. I mean, the only thing I got other than your email today that says, "I'll fight," which, by the way, great headline, because I want somebody that's going to fight. I'm sick of standing around and getting our asses kicked every day, and we're doing nothing like sheep. I mean, there's not even we went from this vibrant Republican Party in Virginia to now we're like little puppies. I mean, we do nothing. The only thing I got a 1-paragraph email from House Minority Leader Todd Gilbert, who's coming out today at 9. That's all I got. I got nothing from Jack Wilson, the chairman of the party. I've got nothing from the caucus. I got nothing from Tommy Norman, the Senate Minority Leader. I got nothing from anybody. I got one email, 2 paragraphs from the Minority Leader when Northam did this. What has happened here?
This party has lost its will to fight when it ought to be summoning the best angels of its nature and mounting every degree of effort to win elections again. We've got winning messages regarding the economy, regarding families, regarding every dimension of importance to quality of life in our Commonwealth, and we are not doing that. Probably an emotional phrase, but I used it in that email that you cited from, and we have become the RPV Surrender Caucus at a time when we need to be courageous and wade onto the battlefield. You know, America and Virginia works well when you have 2 engaged parties. We have a 2-party system that, for all of its faults and failures, it's the best system that man has ever created for political and policy decisions on the planet. But the bottom line is, when one of those is dysfunctional, the system does not work correctly. And so we are dysfunctional right now. It is incumbent on us to embrace a winning spirit, and that's why we've got to fight, because this is a fight. It's a fight for the heart and soul of our country and our Commonwealth. And, John, there's a bazillion things we can be doing also that are not being done. We have got to work hard to ensure that this party wins in November, so that we, in Virginia, so that we do our part to ensure the re-election of the president. Maybe you're somebody who doesn't like his hairstyle. Maybe you're somebody who don't like the things that he says. But by God, look at what he has done. And we're in a place right now where he has built one dysfunctional, destroyed economy, and I want to see him be able to do that again. I am a results-oriented, common-sense conservative, pragmatic, and if Donald Trump is the leader we need to make that happen, then let's do it. That's the first thing we've got to do. Then we've got to close this gap. You've heard me say this before, so I won't dwell on it, but fundraising, voter registration, voter turnout, that is not rocket science. We have got to do that again in ways that we have never done it before.
But, Rich, dude, you're not going to do that if you don't fight. Nobody's going to want to give you any
This
money.
is all
Nobody's
wrapped up.
Sign up for anything. Nobody's going to want to vote.
Correct, John. It's all wrapped up in a fighting spirit that moves your people onto the political battlefield to ensure that you elect the right people to public office, public trust, public responsibility, so that you have the correct, proper, sensical policy outcomes in the General Assembly and in the governor's mansion. So fight. You're absolutely right. This is a fight. And we need our people to wait onto the battlefield.
If you're not going to fight, we don't need a party.
I agree.
It's somewhere in your email. I can't find the exact thing. I have it up now, but somewhere in the email that you sent out to the delegates, you said this is basically the surrender caucus. I mean, we have waved the white flag. There is no opposition. Ralph Northam can do what he wants. Caucus of the Corn do whatever they want. Saslow does whatever he wants. They all do whatever they want because there's no fight. There's no media plan. There's no party. There's nobody. The only person who has showed any spunk is the state senator from Chesterfield, Amanda Chase. She's the only one. Nobody. Everybody else is hiding. I mean, the fact that this guy stalled for another week and he had no reason. Like, what? Did anybody call him on the carpet and say, Governor, what is your metrics here? Why have you done this? And let me tell you, all the people that are hurting because of this and all the money you've cost them beyond the fact that they don't have any money. Nobody says a word.
Correct. He's gotten no significant questions of import from the press during these briefings that take place.
Oh, the press is a joke. The Virginia press is a comedy act. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? And
right.
What they did, the Press Association of Virginia is a corrupt organization, just like the White House Correspondents Association is, right? Mm-hmm. So they finally got people like me because of the COVID-19. They locked us out because you have to get you can only have so many people there, and you don't have an assigned seat. And then the Press Association is, well, you haven't been a member long enough. They don't want anybody in there asking a legit question. Here's the question they ask: Oh, hi, Governor. How's your mask fit today? It looks really good on you. Governor, are you comfortable today? Would you like a cup of hot black coffee or perhaps a cold soft drink? Is your chair comfortable, sir? Oh, you're standing up. How's your podium? Did you have a nice weekend? That's their questions. Nobody asked the guy a legitimate, like yesterday, not one question. What do you tell the thousands of small business owners in Virginia that have scheduled people in, scheduled staff in, were depending on the money, spent money on inventory? What exactly do you tell them? What is your talk directly to them? Did anybody ask that question, Rich? No, because they're not accountable because there's no opposition party.
Correct. And here's the result of that. And let me go back to this whole concept of it is time to fight, because that is the pathway to win again in Virginia. The result of all this is that we have given free rein to an overreaching, risk-adverse chief executive of the state who's imposed unconstitutional orders on what appears to be his subjects, quarantined millions of healthy citizens, deprived them of their civil liberties, shuttered thousands of small businesses, put tens of thousands of Virginians out of work, put our once thriving state economy on life support, and lowered the quality of life in our Commonwealth. And he's done it all with one-size-fits-all policies. The same shutdown applies to Fairfax. It applies to Narrows, Virginia, or Bristol, Virginia. It makes no accommodation for differing regional circumstances in what is pretty much a diverse and thriving Commonwealth. So if we don't get back to this mindset of we must fight, we may as well fold our flag and withdraw from the battlefield. And that ain't going to happen in Virginia.
Well, was there a press conference yesterday by the Republican Party of Virginia?
No.
Was there a press conference? Was there a press conference with 10 Republicans on the Capitol steps? Oh, well, we can't do a press conference because of COVID-19. Sure, you can stand 6 feet apart and have a damn press conference. They don't have a press conference. They do nothing. They do nothing. And so we're just led down the primrose path like sheep. And as you say in your email, you say, in the face of this latest development, the RPV Surrender Caucus has raised the white flag again to the extreme progressives who now control Richmond. That's what we are. We're the Surrender Caucus.
That's correct, and that's not the caucus I want to be a member of. And, John, in this last election in 2019, I knocked on 10,000 quantifiable, verifiable doors. And let me tell you this, there are Republicans behind those doors that if we will fight and bring them into the fight, we will again begin to win elections. But we've got to fight.
Well, you knocked on 10,000 doors, and you still got beat by 1,000 votes.
That's right. That's right. Because
what does that tell you?
People are not showing up. People are not vote motivated. People will not make the commitment. And the commitment that needs to be made is not just showing up and voting. We are at an inflection point where liberty-loving Virginians have got to inconvenience their lives in order to rescue their Commonwealth from this very, very depressing period in the life of our state.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so, John, let's fight. Anybody within the sound of my voice, let's fight.
All right,
now is not the time for the timid.
Richard Anderson with us, former House of Delegates member, running for chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia. He says he'll fight right now. No fight in it. No press conference yesterday. It infuriated me. I'm in Mississippi, and we have surrendered. This is the RPV Surrender Caucus, no question about it. Tell us, are we going to have a convention? How do we elect a chairman? What happens?
Well, that's a good question, John. And, oh, by the way, on the question of a press conference, I think probably after our friends at RPV hear some of the discussion that takes place today, I bet we see a press conference, but a day late and $1 short, coming out of Richmond. So to turn to your question, the history of the RPV State Convention is it was originally scheduled on May 1st and 2nd in Lynchburg. That got canceled and moved to Richmond. I'm not on the inside, so I can't speculate to that, but that sends a message of indecision to the rank and file. It contributes to this reason why people are not fighting in our party. Then it was changed in Richmond from May 1st and 2nd to June the 26th and 27th with messaging from the state party that said, save the date, but no hard planning. Now, I admit that that's been exacerbated by this period of prolonged indecision and mixed message signaling from the executive branch of Virginia state government. But by God, a real leader needs to say, we do not cancel on a forecast. That's something I learned over a 30-year Air Force career. Do not cancel a mission or a sortie on the basis of a forecast. And we need to go fly this mission, which means we hold an in-person state convention. My suspicion is that those who are currently holding the levers of power within the Republican Party of Virginia want to drive this to some sort of wet noodle virtual event. We may have to go into July, but by God, we need to have an in-person state convention, and we need the leadership to step up and tell us when and where that's going to be. So there you have it. I don't know the answer to that.
Look, I don't care if the convention is in September. I don't know what the party rules are, but, some kind of like you say, some kind of a watered down, like, drop your ballot in a box and turn it into a paper airplane or something. I mean, that's like ridiculous. And you're not going to have an in-person convention in June because
Correct.
Northam isn't going to allow it. Okay, their narrative is mail-in vote, can't vote. Hey, I can't. Hey, I have a either vote or die. I mean, this is the nonsense they're going to be spewing out. So they're not going to allow you to have a convention.
John, the extremism on the other side has gone so far. Let me take that narrative about voting a little step further. They proposed not only to change the date, but to also destroy already casted votes. Think about that. To destroy votes already casted in a free and independent country.
You're talking about the May elections, the municipal elections, like where my wife and I, got an absentee ballot because I don't know where I'm going to be on any given day. I always do that. I mean, I travel, so I got my ballot. We voted. We sent it in, and then Ralph Northam at the veto session wanted to cancel the elections, move it to vendor in November, and throw my ballots out. I mean,
put your ballots in the shredder. Think about that.
Yeah, exactly. Incredible. Rich, I got a couple of people texting me. They want to send you money. Where do they go?
Go to rich@richanderson.com. Let's fight. Let's win. Let's bring regular order to our Commonwealth.